Welcome to the Agent from Within podcast, the only podcast that's here to develop the real estate agent as a human being, to help you get out of your own way, to actually align yourself to what you really want in your life and then build a real estate business around that. We have to focus on the person behind the strategies. Yes, this is going to be filled with tactics, business advice, amazing interviews. But if you're not in the right place mentally and emotionally, you will self-sabotage your business. You will chase, you will compare. This is about creating the best race car driver, not just the best race car. Any race car driver can jump into any car and win the race. We need to develop you as a human being. This is the only place that real estate agents can actually focus on growing yourself and growing your business. Cheers.
So I don't know if anyone saw it. I posted this morning on our group, the Agent from Within group, on just the topics. So I'll just read the 10 things I'm going to try to get through today. Okay, here's the questions, guys. We're going to talk about this. This is literally the order we're going to go in. Personal page versus business page. Social media for short term versus long term. What format is the best form of communication? Video, written, word, audio, pictures. What should I outsource? When should I outsource my social media? What platform is the most effective for a realtor? Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Twitter, YouTube. Organic social media versus paid social media. What should you post as a realtor? Should I keep it professional? How do I learn and keep up with social media changes? How should I be how much should I be posting? Did you hear me? I went like 100 miles an hour there. Okay. Oh, look at this. My assistant is killing it. It's in the chat. Thanks, Deb. You just saw what a business looks like. When you feel like you have to do it all, you have to ask yourself a couple questions. Guys, before I get into this, I just did a podcast. You guys have to listen to it. It's going to come out in a week or two. This is with Cameron Harold. Here it is. Remember, guys, remember in the call I talked to you about this guy? So this guy here took a business from 2 million to 105 million. In 6 years, he doubled. He wrote a book called Double. He's now a business coach. He charges $6,500 for 3 hours. This guy was I had him for an hour. I think he's going to become a friend of mine. He's from Vancouver. We're going to be connecting soon. This guy here, he had some amazing business points. Every single one of you guys will love to have this. So take a listen. It's going to be a podcast coming out. Just make sure you guys jump on, subscribe, and it'll be 2 away. So the next podcast coming out is actually, I turned Lawrence's talk into a podcast because I thought it'd be very good to share outside of the real estate circle. So that's coming out right away too. Anyways, let's get into this, guys. Looking at our time here. Okay, we're half an hour in. Let's do this. So personal page versus business page. By the way, I literally could do a 3-day workshop on this. So what we're doing is top level, answer some questions, and move on. Okay, personal page versus business page. Look at it through the eyes of what you want when you see someone. Look at it through empathy first. When someone sends me, hey, like my page, please quickly answer. What do you think? What do you say? My business page, like my business page. What do you do? Honest. You're muted there. Cringe. Next one, Graham. No thanks. Okay, what else? Give me some more.
Bit of a time waster. Sometimes I feel obligated to like it, so I have to look them up and like it.
Yeah, and this one says, don't serve me, I won't follow it. Guys, so let's start there. What's our reaction on business pages? Most of the time. The reason why is because the only reason we invest our time is because it has value. I have not figured out totally how to provide value with my business page. It is something I'm working toward. But if there was a contest, which I was doing to promote my YouTube channel, it says every week I'll be giving a $20 Starbucks card away for anyone that shares my YouTube channel and shares my page to follow it. And guess what? I had a listing within a week, and the problem is my office shut me down because it's incentives. I'm the guy that always pushes the limits, so we got to work within this crazy rules of real estate. So depending on which area you're at and who complains against you. So let's go through this. Now let's look at this, guys. When you meet someone and all they do is talk about business, what's your reaction? Look at it through real relationships. This has to be the way to do everything in this business. Like, yeah, that's business. That's personal. No, no, no. It's all personal, guys. This is old thinking. So that's my business and this is personal. This is social media world, guys. Everything's open. And I don't trust anybody that's just going to talk business. It's simple. You want trust? You need vulnerability. It is the #1 pathway to trust, vulnerability. So let's just imagine, guy shows up. He's always wearing a freaking beautiful suit, driving a Mercedes Benz. Every single, just never, ever lets that out. You've never seen him in a t-shirt. Do you trust that guy? You know? Oh, shoot. Steve, that's what you're saying. Are you saying that's you? He's wearing a tie. I don't trust that guy. Who's that Steve guy anyways? Anyways, what I'm saying is that, it's not about not, sorry, let me just rephrase that a bit here. If that was truly you, and that's who you are for real, you can own whatever you wear. Okay? It's not about what you wear or what you drive. I'm just saying there's the guy that I never get to really know. Then I can't have the depth. So if we're doing a business page and it's not giving some kind of value, people are going to like it out of sympathy. And you're going to be distracted and working at pushing this big rock up a hill. Remember, is it turning deals? Is it giving you ability to start relationship? And the thing is, I think the question is, the only thing I like about a business page, guys, is you can actually target market and do paid marketing. So in one level, it's important to market your open houses. If you wanted to say, hey, I'm doing a free dinner, I'm going to pay for the entire dinner. It's going to be at this restaurant for the next, please put your name in. I'm going to pick a few people to we're going to talk about entry-level buying, but I'm buying you all dinner. That's a good ad, by the way. It cost you what, $300? And now you got 5 people in a room. So boost your post for listing events. Okay, so okay, who put that there? Okay, I think boost might not be the best way, Aaron, algorithms are changing right now. And boost, I think, is the lowest return. And I think there's to actually, I don't do it, but for target marketing, I'm not a social media crazy expert. I know a ton about it. I do a lot of it. But when it comes to these kind of platforms, they're changing all the time. And lately, boost is you might think it's going good, but not many people see it anyways. It's more of a moneymaker for Facebook, I think. I think you got to actually set up campaigns, do it in the back end. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's like throwing sand in the air. I've done it, but you guys, this is really a moving target all the time. Algorithms change. I can tell you right now, Instagram's changing because I'm getting a lot of BS coming back at me from doing the very same thing that worked last month. And all of a sudden something changed. And all of a sudden I'm getting every photograph guys going, or all these other people are trying, they're all social media marketing people are now liking my stuff. And I'm going, something shifted. It's just how it is, guys. That's why to keep on top of it is massive learning, constant learning. It's like an accountant or a lawyer or anything. So let's talk about that business page versus personal page. The question is, you need to add value. And does it add value? And does it give you a chance to build a relationship? Like, who's following a real estate page? Oh, wow, he's got another listing. Oh, wow. It's called white noise. So my question is this. There is a time for it. I've got my team going on there. I've got my listings going on there. We've got stuff happening. I'm not a big believer in my own business page. We've got 200 or 300 people that follow it, but who really follows it? It's probably the people that have listings. They want to see their listing advertised. Okay. Let me see here. So I think it's pretty obvious what people think about business pages, but we have this weird pressure to do one. I say hold off. That's all I say. If you have one, don't invest a ton of time into it. There's other things that you can do to really generate business, follow up, create relationships than this business real estate page. Okay. If you were to do something as a page, do a I love marathons page and build a community. Spend 18 months at it. Don't talk real estate all the time. That's what I would probably do if I was to do a page. It'd be something that I love, hockey dads. And I'm just a real estate agent, but Hockey Dads is my first foot forward. Okay. Remember, careful. Ideas. We start ideas. We don't finish them. That's what I'm worried about. Okay. Next topic. Short-term versus long-term. Everything has to be long-term, guys. Social media is patience. There are tactics to turn deals. I get it. Like for example, if you advertise a free dinner and you go meet with people, but it has to get to the relationship. If you run a contest where you can actually, the winner, I'll deliver the prize, then it works. But it always has to go down to the opportunity to sell or connect. Anything that you just put out there, you're like, then that's a whole nother strategy. Like Noir has got 2 leads about a year later. But guess what? Now momentum goes if you keep doing it. So we're going to get into different formats and different posts we can do. So like, it's about relationship building. It's not about, anything else. Like, you have to think real estate is and these social media platforms aren't sales forms. Anyone that's selling too much is gross. I risk it right now because I'm trying to sell tickets to my events. I risk it. Every time I do this, I risk the relationships that I've built. Right? Couldn't you imagine? Let's go back to reality. Let's say that I had this little multi-level business on the side. Okay. I build this academy up, and then I start pitching, guys, you want to make it $5 extra every month? You just got to sign up and just start selling this cream to people, everyone. I would probably lose a massive amount of credibility with you guys because the relationship is built on what we are building it on. So what I'm saying is, why I say that is, every time you build this relationship, and as soon as you open the doors to do a sale to them, you're risking that, which I risk when I do an event. So there's always these 2 sides. Hopefully I've got enough relationship that people understand who I am. Then I'm, and then I've built strong enough base that I can do some kind of sale once in a while. So it comes down to adding value. So short-term, long-term. This is a really interesting thought. So if you do anything, it's got to be long-term and it's got to be consistent. But there's a variable, guys. It's called the creative. It's called the post. Just because you're consistently giving something doesn't mean you haven't become white noise. Like, when you're doing social media, you got to think, is this something that I would love to stop and look at? So we're going to go through different types of posts that I find are working, but we're not going to do this second. The number one thing when you're doing short-term, long-term is authenticity. Remember, if people trust you, they like you, they buy from you. And you can actually have relationships. So that's why it takes time. But authenticity is this. When you're thinking about being professional, we're going to kind of cross over some of these topics. Should I be professional? Should I be like, what's the story? Well, if you're a stripper or something like that, and you got a lot of pictures like that, and you're going into real estate, unless you're selling to a bunch of strippers, I'm okay with it. Like, if you're showing your boobs and all that, I'm fine. The only problem is you just niched out to a very narrow client base. So it's not right or wrong. It's just that you probably only sell to, guys that like strippers. But most likely they probably have a wife and they're probably not going to call you. They will look at you, but they won't call you. And I'm making a funny joke because if let's say you're angry all the time, that's okay. That's who you are. But just realize you're going to only deal with people that are probably angry. Like, if you're a hyper political comments all the time, that's fine. But you're just going to get people that are hyper political. You'll create your tribe. So when I'm posting, my thing is, I'm going to be me. I'm a good dude. I'm a dad. I like hockey. I'm a coach. I like impact. I like personal growth. I like real estate. I have investing background. So there's a lot of different tribe members that have these flavors. Noir's does running and triathlons. Steve, he wears suits and he has Mercedes Benzes. But it's kind of true. Well, we attract our kind. We just have to be ourselves, guys. The problem is we don't want to let people see who we are. The reason why is this. We've grown up our entire life to say, when you do this, the right way to do it is this. You guys understand that we had one point had to use a certain fork for a certain thing that we eat. And then we're like, that's just how we do it. But what if I didn't want to use that fork? Well, then people are going to look down upon me in that circle. That just means I'm in the wrong circle. So when you're being on social media, I really encourage you guys to be yourself and attract your tribe. But I'll promise you so much, if you're not willing to stand alone on what you believe and you're going to switch what you believe to fit in, you're going to be white noise. If you want raving fans, you have to have an enemy. Think about this, okay? Let's just imagine this. Some people in this room have a deep, deep care for me. We'll just say, Aaron, me and you've worked together. I know Aaron's got my back, seriously got my back. If someone came to you, Aaron, right now, okay, and says, Ben's a loser, he's a fake, what would you say?
I would tell them that, like, when it comes to you, like, you're not everyone's cup of tea, and that's fine. But what the relationship that you and I have is one that's so in sync, and that's why we work really well together. Like, that's it.
So there would be a standing with me.
Absolutely.
No problem, right?
No
So,
problem.
so this is what I'm trying to say. That's a real relationship, guys. Is that, but like you hear what she said? Not everyone's into me. I get it. But the
But
what
you're
I,
aware of that.
the depth, but I'm insecure enough to, like, I don't like that. I want everyone to be into me. I want to be liked by everyone. We all have that. But the thing is, it takes balls to be who you are in front of people and publicly stand up for what you believe. If you can't do that, then what's going to happen is you'll be a bit more white noise. But the people that, if you do that, people will get behind you and support you in a way that'll blow your mind. And when someone wants to attack you, your crew shows up.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the F? You're saying that you obviously don't know Ben. I'm not defending myself, the relationships that I am. So you have to just really understand, guys, if you want to get a little deeper, this needs to happen in your relationships.
Mhm.
The depth of your relationships with your loved ones is only going to go as deep as how real you are, but you're going to piss them off by speaking your truth, but you're also going to end up in a very deep place if you stand on that. You're not trying to be an asshole. You just, this is what I believe. I'm telling you, this is the core fundamentals. If you have these core fundamentals, social media is going to work really well for you because you're going to be real. Has anyone seen the crazy life posts I put out? Like I do a full write-up once in a while about life, and I tell people I struggle with my marriage, but I do that because I mean it, and I also want to inspire someone to be better or whatever. You know what I mean? And it is just me. It's just who I am. And what happens is, check this out, guys. This is what happened. I went into a meeting on Friday morning. It was like there's about 15 real estate agents there. You know how many people came up to me and just says, holy crap, I follow what you do. I had no clue. Wow, the stuff that you're writing is like, your posts are so moving and they're so great. Cool. Like, I didn't realize that. So it's hard. Social media is a bit abstract because you post it and only assholes and real fans and people like it, and you can't grade it like that. You just got to speak your truth. Again, it's 18 months. Just think 18 months. Everything you do, 18 months. But guys, I've really wanted to park on this because if you're not going to be real online, even just 10% realer than you are now would be great. I'm not saying to be like me where I'm crazy open, but just start being a little more real. Just be a little bit more real, because did you guys understand Oprah? That's why Oprah got famous. She stood there massively overweight on the stage and says, guess what, guys, let's talk. I saw it. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. I've gained all my weight back. Like, holy shit. That's why they love her. How many talk show hosts would never do that? Authenticity, show yourself for real. How many people judged her at that point? Tons, millions. How many people became raving fans? Every woman that lost weight and gained it back. This is very important. I'm really parking because social media just amplifies who we are. So if we want to do social media training, we got to do human training. It's just what it is. Next. By the way, if you're ever questioning posting, or if you're ever doing anything, just remember, in the absence of clarity, take action. Because sitting there not knowing is insane. If you'd post something, didn't work, guess what? It didn't work. At least you know. Test things, do things. Don't just not do anything because you're scared it's not going to work or what. Just do it. Keep moving forward. Now, let's talk about, let's see here, format of communication. Okay? So what format do we use to communicate? Guys, there's written, like you're saying, Nawar, there's written, there's YouTube, there's Facebook Live, there's Instagram stories. Here's the thing, guys. If you're an introvert, you need to write and put out really interesting information. You need to put out a blog. And you need to find some channels. There's a platform called Medium. You could be sending your write-ups to every media outsource saying, do you want a story? If you write a really, really good blog, you can send it to all the media. Do you know how many journalists are looking right now for stories? You know how cool that'd be to be in the Globe and Mail? Don't you think that'd be kind of cool to have some credibility with the logical buyer? So I'm just saying, if you're an introvert, start writing. How about this? The 5 things that you look for in bungalows. Look at the 3 misconceptions on mortgages. Guys, whatever, but start putting that content into like something that you really believe in. But if I was an introvert, I'd be writing. I'd be putting out content. I'd be packaging it and having it as a free download PDF on my website. Maybe I got 10 of them on there. Maybe when I meet a new buyer, I just send them the report that matches their situation. But I'd be writing. So if you're like me, I love writing. It's just very slow and tedious, so it's hard for me. But the thing is, I love it, so I do some writing. But I am really good on the fly in front of video. Very good. I jump on there, one take wonders. Some of the video editors like, what the hell? How, like one hit? So he goes, I've never seen it. It's just what I do. It's just who I am. I don't know. So guess what? I got to do video and I got to do it consistently. But then that's the thing. So now the other ones is audio. If you guys want to do a blog, it's like, again, every strategy is massive time. So guys, has anyone ever thought of doing a real estate podcast that talks to every single business owner in the area, telling their stories? And then you could open the doors to how many opportunities. No one, guys, I just got a guy on my show because of my podcast, and I'm meeting these people that are just incredible that I would never have met before. Podcast is another great way if you're an audio guy. But remember, 18 months, whatever you commit to, 18 months, be aware of time, be aware of how long every single thing takes. And if you need money right now, do not do any of this. Go out, ask for business, master the follow-up, create any reason to get in front of people. That's what money is. That's how you make money. If you've got enough money coming in, then you need to build systems, and maybe a podcast is the right strategy because you're going to be in this for 18 months and you've got good referral base already coming in. Once you have the referral base, now you can build fun stuff, not just hard selling. Any thoughts or questions at this point, guys? Okay. Organic versus paid social media. Okay. This is a whole nother topic. Let's just break down one thing, guys. If you truly want to learn this topic, okay? Remember when I said 15 minutes a day? If you really want to learn any topic, door knocking, social media, how to be a better dad, Google is amazing. There's people like me that's giving out free content that's got really good content that you could watch, you could learn if you really wanted it. That's why I call bullshit on half the people. Oh, I don't know. It's right there. 15 minutes a day is 91 hours a year. What could you learn every year if you committed to 15 minutes? It's crazy. We have so much excuses and bullshit. Like, man, I went to the gym the other day and a new lady was just starting out, okay? And I saw her with her trainer and I'm listening and no judgment, nothing, because I was the same way. She goes, oh, my knee, I can't do that one because of my knee. And, oh, am I going to be like hurting tomorrow because, I got a lot of stuff I got to do. And it was just constant bullshit. Like, it's a half an hour to work out. Let's modify the workout so it doesn't hurt your knees. Like, it's just a matter of how we all do it, guys. If you listen to the bullshit we tell ourselves, we can really walk into an exponential growth if we can get rid of that. So, guys, what I'm saying is this. If you want to learn paid marketing in social media, take 15 minutes a day. If you want to hyper it, do 30 minutes a day. Well, I don't have time. Wake up a half an hour early. Like, you can never tell me you don't have time because you do not know what I do every day. 5 kids, podcast, national coaching business, one of the top real estate companies in Canada. And I have run a coaching academy. How am I doing it? Well, just every second, I just max out my time. And I also have dates with my kids. Guys, I'm not saying I'm going to continue this pace, but I'm saying don't ever say that you don't have time. It's always time. It just means that it's not a priority. It's not a priority. I don't know social media. Learn it. Well, I don't have time. No, you don't want to. It's not a priority. So it's not judgment. I'm like, think for yourself. That's what you need to tell yourself. Okay. We start getting some of these excuses out of the way. You turn your engine to 60 miles an hour to 100 miles an hour just by removing excuses. The shit you can get done is unbelievable. So I'm going to park on that going, if you want to learn paid social media, take some time to learn it if you really want to do it. But do not pay someone to do it for you. It's the biggest mistake people make. You know why? Because a guy named Gary Vaynerchuk, who has hundreds of millions of followers, and he's telling everyone to just start their businesses. And there's hundreds of thousands of social media agencies coming out there that are 19-year-old kids that are learning on your dime. And there's the big agencies that you're going to spend a fortune on. They might get you some, but every time I've ever heard it, they say I've wasted money. The level that we live at, you learn it, try an ad, $10, test it. But again, you have to challenge yourself. Is this the best use of my time? Okay. So I know I'm going in and out, left and right a little bit, but hopefully you're getting the concept. Paid marketing is fantastic for open houses. Paid marketing is fantastic for specific events. Paid marketing is maybe you download the free report for all the foreclosures in my area. Another good one. You can start a squeeze page system, but that's a whole nother topic. You got to get the squeeze page. From that, you need an auto email back to them. Then you got to get them, like, where does that go when you give away the free report? The free report is to get them into a sale and to showing houses or listing houses. Again, that's another topic. I really build those and I've got stuff going on. But the thing is that is something you can pay for, is to build a funnel. But that's a whole nother topic. But that's where Facebook ads can come in. Google AdWords comes in, but you need the purpose that fills the funnel to make a sale. So just Google AdWords and Facebook marketing just to put your face on something, it's the same as buying a bus bench or a billboard. And it might be worse because it's not localized. What platforms should I use in social media as a real estate agent? Guys, what platform should you be using?
Whatever
Anyone?
you're comfortable with.
Whatever fits you?
Yeah,
Whatever you know?
I mean, it's got to be a comfort level too, right?
Yeah.
You said some people more comfortable on video, some people want to do text, some people, so whatever works, or whatever is the best fit for the person.
Scott, all of them. Okay, first, Noir, I got you. I hear what you're saying. And Scott, so let's work that through. Okay, let's just imagine every day I got to do all of them. Scott, you're right, by the way. And so are you, Noir. You're both right. But time, execution is my obsession. How the hell am I going to do all of them? All of them well. So Noir, you're doing it. You did the video, you get it transcribed, and it gets posted to different platforms. That's the way to do it. But you haven't even scratched LinkedIn. You haven't done Snapchat, Instagram like stories. Excuse me. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? So Scott, how do we do all of them? Excuse me. Like, do you see what I'm trying to say, Scott? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that starts with me. You're right. And, I got to take that time and research them all, figure out how to do it the best way, and then manage my time.
Yeah.
If that's the route I'm going to go.
And that's why I want you to question everything decision you make on how many steps, how much admin, how much time does it take away from the very thing you need to be doing? Because we create, and this isn't just you, Scott, I mean, all of us, is we create activities to avoid what we need to do. We stay busy because we don't want rejection. We stay busy because we don't want to go ask a stranger. We get busy because we know we're supposed to do these things for our client. For some weird reason, it's a psychological insecurity. We avoid the things that we don't want to do. But the problem is our mission is to make money, build a business, a referral business, and build a life. You're going to have to get over our own stuff. I talked to a girl on my team. She's amazing. And she's just learning sales. She was a server. She's amazing with people. But we had this big event. There's 500 people that came through an estate sale that we were selling. And so we chatted and I'm like, you got to get in their face. You got to talk to them. Well, it's kind of uncomfortable. I'm like, so here we got two options. You're going to be uncomfortable and get used to it, or we're not going to get a sale. So what do we do? So it was almost like it was super hard, and it was such a good learning lesson. You got to get in their face. Hey, I'm a real estate agent. Hey, I'm the one selling the house. Are you looking at buying a house? We're talking like kiosks, mall kiosk selling. If we can't do that, that you'll avoid, how many things will you avoid if you can't just walk up to someone and say, hey, I want to buy a house. I heard you're talking. So I'm using a very specific example about how we hold ourselves back. And the thing is, though, if there's any other activity that we could have done that day, it probably would have been something she'd want to do. Because it sucked learning that. But now she's gaining her skills. Once you learn that crap, it's like skating. Who wants to put on a set of skates and go skating who's never have skated before? You will avoid it. No, I'm not really. You know what? I'm just not a skater. No, like it's just like this, but it's called learning. Learning's hard. So what I'm saying is we avoid things that we don't want to do, but sometimes the very thing we're avoiding is exactly what we need to be doing. But we got to get honest with our BS that we put in our heads. We get honest with the BS we put in our heads. We move that away, and you're left with being accountable. And then then you just do it. Next. What should I be posting? Graham, are you watching a funny video or are you laughing at me? Because I don't know what the one to do.
No, all good.
What's going on?
Oh no, I was talking Noir.
I'm like, I want in on this.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the deal, guys. What should I post? This is a really good conversation. This is very practical. This is something that we can leave today with something, okay? What should I be posting? First, shoot back at me. What do you think? So I don't just start talking and you guys know some stuff and no point talking about stuff you already know. Give me something. What are the posts that what do you want to post? Like, what do we post? Maybe what do we don't post? What do we post? Just a quick chat on that.
I post questions that come up when dealing with clients. So I think, like, turn that question into a content.
Cool. You kind of got and I can see you're a few steps ahead of most people because you're creating good content. You're becoming the authority that way. You know what I mean? If you're asking good questions, you probably know something. Next one, I post about my kids a lot. They're a major part of my business model. I think what I'm hearing you say is they're a big part of your life, and that you're a family person, and that you're a mom. Is that what you're saying?
I think for me, like, just you and I have done a lot about this. I remember I wanted to make sure that I was never going to put my kids in a position where like one of the parents weren't home.
Yeah.
So being at home with them actually kind of became my business model because instead of focusing on volume, I really reeled it in and I was able to focus on quality of service for a lower number of clients instead of trying to spread myself out there and do a ton of
Because
it.
your mission was your family.
Totally.
Remember, guys, what's your mission?
They became
Now
my
let's build a business, and that's exactly what we did when we worked together one-on-one for a year. It's like, let's build a business that serves you. So I'm not the guy that's like, hey, gonna make $1 million. Like, I am that guy, I can, but I'll tell you what you have to do, and it's a lot of work. Or it's like, hey, your family was number one. Okay, great, let's build around that.
Yeah,
and it's turned out really well.
It's turned out so well.
Yeah, everyone grades it on the amount of money you make as success. I'm going, that's definitely part of it. But it's not always about that. There's guaranteed it's not about that.
Like,
even though I want to make a lot of money.
Yeah, like, I mean, I've now got like ambassadors, I've got all these things that kind of you have got now too.
Yeah.
Just on a smaller scale that works for me. So like.
And then but remember, 20 years later, you've got a crazy business. We
Totally.
build so long term. Most of the people I work with after 2 to 3 years are just killing it. The first year, so much work and so much grinding and putting things and getting our head on straight that year 2, 3, 4, and that's my absolute pride. Just a little bit of a brag a bit. Is that the long-term effect is so exciting to see these guys all successful long-term, not like I quit. I was in this course and I killed it one year. Hate that. Next, let's talk about this now. Okay, we're going to keep moving forward because of time. Here's the thing. What do we talk about? Here's the combination of what my posts are. Personal and family, sports, hockey, the gym, real estate stats, my red carpet, key releases, events, waiver signings, my kids' hockey practice and me being a coach, open houses, Video of me talking in front of a house or something, or a topic that I love. Posts, I get involved in group communities, and that's something we're going to talk to before we finish. Answer questions on Ask Strathcona style sites. This is a very powerful tool, guys. You become a community member in an Ask Your Area. So if you're not part of Ask Beaumont, Ask Hamilton, Ask whatever area you're in, Ask Leduc, there is a site where people ask questions and look for referrals and all this stuff. You don't go and sell there. What you do is you go through it and you start building relationships. 18 months. If you're there every day and you're there included in that group every day, you become a community member. Then once in a while you say, hey guys, someone will say, do you need a real estate agent? I've got a tactic, 100%. I'm almost 100% turn on people that are saying, hey, do you need a realtor? And they say, Ben's amazing. I know how to turn that deal really well. But if you're part of the community, the more part of the community you are, the more referrals you're going to get. Again, 18 months, get inside a group on Facebook and be posting in there. Okay, this is a very simple strategy and it's very effective. Add value to the group. Help people every day in the group. If you do that, your algorithm will work so good for you because every day they're seeing you post and adding value, not celebrating a sale or anything like that. If you guys want to work social media, this is probably the number one thing I would be doing, getting involved in these sites and building communities, being part of it, because then you're the local guy. Okay, like, oh, does anyone have a referral for? Boom, another one. Tag them. Does anyone know anything about like this thing's got this thing on my dog? Tag a guy, go, hey, you know what? You're a vet. I thought maybe you would help be that guy on the group. Okay. So guys, remember this, if you're too safe, it's a good meme, by the way, you'll probably see me put it up. If you're posting too safe, you become white noise. Okay. If you're being too safe, meaning you're just being what you should be. You're staying in that middle zone, not too crazy, not too quiet. Like you're just doing this like professional thing all the time. Got some content ideas, part of social media plan. Perfect. Yeah. Open house, top 5, you guys can see it there. So what I'm trying to get at is don't be a one topic wonder. That's why real estate pages are so boring. Be interesting. But the thing is, you're interesting. You don't got to try to be interesting. Your kind will love you. If you love sewing patches on knees of your ripped jeans and that's your hobby, there is probably 1 million people that have a secret hobby of doing that too. There is the dumbest groups I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, how are you part of this? Like, we're talking people that want to be pirates. Like, if you secretly want to be a pirate, you need to start saying, I want to be a pirate. And then guess what? 30% of your business are your pirate friends. That's real, guys. Like legit, really, really, really weird. Have you seen some of the stuff on TV? Like, people are weird. We're all weird. Just got to be yourself, because then it just works so much better. So that's the thing. You're trying to amplify who you are, what you do, but people aren't going to buy from you because you're just a real estate agent. But one thing I have been doing that's working is Instagram stories. People are flipping through Instagram stories all the time, but this is very careful. If you're not doing it, it's going to take time. Stories, people are eating up stories. And so what you do is you do a quick little 15-second videos max. Hey, I'm here, boom, boom, boom. Or you'll start seeing my stuff on the stories all the time. I would encourage that. It's a very powerful 18-month tour. People start seeing what you're doing all the time. People love reality TV. Another tip. Love it. My kids turn on YouTube. They don't watch TV anymore. It's 100% YouTube right now. And it's so dumb. There's a husband and a wife, 3 kids. They're got a box. They're pulling out products that are from Canada. Which one do you get? It's so dumb. And I got hooked in it. I'm telling you, I'm like, this is so stupid. 5-10 minutes later, I'm still watching them pull out a bag of Doritos and go, oh, which one do you want? Do you want Doritos or do you want all dressed? And I'm going, why am I watching this? Because it's just life and it's funny. And so remember, if you can do more of lifestyle, what did I call it? Reality TV on your life over 18 months, that's really, really good social media right now. It's trending hard. You know what I mean?
Ben, I got a question about Instagram stories.
Yep.
So that disappears after 24 hours.
Yeah.
So yeah, I always start with why. So what,
Yeah.
why? Let me
Why
answer.
do it?
It's not searchable. It's not
Yes.
archived. It's there 24 hours and it's gone. No
That's
one.
why you have to be posting at least 5 of those a day. Because then I want to check what Noir's up to today. Bam, 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 bam. Cool. See ya. I don't need to see your post more than once. And the thing is, though, there's algorithms that are working for you there.
So is the thought behind it just to create awareness?
The create is to create relationship. Always remember, everything goes back to real relationships. So that'll help guide your posts. But like, for example, let's imagine this. I would love to see you say, "Okay, man, I'm just about to start my run," post it. And then I go to your story and it pops up. Oh, Noir. And if I look at your story, it'll pop up a lot. So I've got like 10 people that I'm looking at their stories all the time. It's kind of like, oh, what are they doing? Oh, cool. I'm kind of following their life.
And are you finding, so one last question here, are you
Yeah.
finding the people who look at your stories, are they real estate people? Are they general public? Like what?
That's about my network. That's my network. It's a mix. Obviously, I've got a ton of real estate agents that follow me. I've got a few different marketing, streams. So I've got a mixture of real estate. Like my thing is, I'm so big into the coaching now that it's shifting my touch from my actual selling houses. So I would put more of my team stuff up there, and I would do it once in a while real estate because that's just the truth of where I'm at. I'm building more toward the coaching, public image. Public celebrity type of marketing where people get to know me and have events and speaking and stuff. So that's where you'll start seeing a little bit more of that. But at the end of the day, I don't care. I think the thing is on Instagram, people can follow you without you approving it. So the thing is on Facebook is a little bit different. Facebook is all older people now. Like the demographic is 45 plus. So if you guys wanted to do some marketing on Facebook, you could market 50 plus. Guys, I wrote something down here. I was even thinking of doing social media training for 50 plus real estate agents because I know that's where everyone will be on. Facebook is old people now. But it's also one of the most powerful marketing tools on the planet because you can target people to the absolute pinpoint if you know what you're doing. So just realize understanding your audience instead of like I love what you're asking, who's watching you. Instagram's going to be a younger generation, probably 18 to maybe 30, right? But if you want to invest in 10 years plan, you better be on that because a guy that's 18 years old is going to be 28 and he's been following you on Instagram for 10 years. So I look at it very long term. I don't look at it per post. Like, how did I get a speaking engagement in Connecticut that paid me 10 grand to come out and do an hour talk? It's a pretty cool gig. I have no clue. It was my YouTube channel. They just checked me out on YouTube and they followed me. They've probably been following me for like 2 years. See, this is why social media is 18 months. This is why everything is 18 months.
Yeah, it's long tail.
It has to be. And you can't predict it. Just be adding value. More value than you take is the rule, right? No matter what relationship you get into, make sure that you're giving 55% and you're taking 45 on every relationship that you are involved in, including your wife, your kids. It is a really good life motto. 55% give, 45% take. That's how you build long-term. And that's how people want to give back to you. When time comes tomorrow, when you need something, you want to have all that stuff in the bank. Relationship investments. That makes sense? In closing to this, a couple more here. How much should I be posting? Okay, again, depends on what you are, depends on what you're doing, depends on the post. Like I see guys, I'm at this open house here again. Look at the bathroom. Look at this. It's like, see ya. Unless that one guy that wants to see that property. So in one level it works. I just think that's fine. If you're doing nothing, at least you're out there saying you're a real estate agent. It does have some value. But how can we maximize that a bit more? So personally on stories, if you get 3 or 5 stories, that's great. It's got to be interesting. I post, I don't know, 3 to 5 things a day per platform. I go every 1 to 2 weeks. Every 1 to 2 a week on a vlog on my YouTube. I have other lists I email. You guys are part of some of these lists. You'll start seeing a lot of the stuff I'm doing. So a lot of times, guys, it's about moving forward, testing it for a while, seeing the results and changing. That's the only way to know. Plus, everything's changing anyways. So I really believe that you guys need to be posting on a daily basis. There's just no question. So that's the basics. Post on a daily basis. Get into the habit. If you're doing 0, do a post a day. Like open up Instagram and post something and jump on a story. Just do it. These are some basics, guys. We are in the 2019 now. We have to do this. And if you're a little bit behind the times, well, in a year, you won't be. 91 hours is what you're going to have for this year at 15 minutes a day on social media, if you're the person that's not doing it. 91 hours of social media content, at least, if you're just doing 15 minutes. Now, if you're doing social media a lot, well, then you might want to take a look at what is something I can do consistently for 18 months that I can invest in, which is a blog, which is a vlog, which is is there something that you can build to add value? Do you want to feature mortgage brokers? Do you want to feature inspectors? Do you want to, it's just a massive undertaking. So the problem is there's so many things to do. So I would probably say, Noir, I love your strategy. I'd stick with it. I would definitely get on Instagram, Noir, and start just putting up some Instagram stories. I would. I think that just to see how that goes and start building that. And then you have to learn hashtags. Okay, hashtags are really cool because hashtags on Instagram, if you actually hashtag, let's just say, if you hashtag, here, I got love being a daddy. You could click it and it's its own page. It's everyone in the world that has ever posted, I love being a daddy on that page. So you've got your page. If you hashtag, there's these community style pages. There, no one owns it. It just organized that hashtag and create a page. That's cool. You can follow a hashtag as well. So that's the thing. There's so many strategies out there. If you follow people, they'll follow you back. You can build your base like that. But again, what is the mission? And does your time invested put you closer to your mission? Or is it wasting your time? Is it making you avoid something that you really should be doing, which is follow up with your leads, which is book another open house, which is hire an assistant to organize your list? There's 100 things better than this, guys. But once you get to the place where you have a business, now you can play a little bit. But I would think that it's doing something in an 18-month strategy in social media. Something. To become an authority, you want to be able to give that. You want to be able to talk about real estate. To have a blog that someone follows is really cool. You start building up a YouTube channel. You start building up a Facebook audience where every Monday you do a Facebook Live. It's another conversation. But that's way too intimidating. We're not going to talk about that right now. Guys, we're going to wrap up. I definitely want to open the floor to questions again. I'd love to see maybe one thing that you've taken from this. The reason why is because, again, why talk about all this stuff? Like, what is something that you're going to take and put to action? Like, what's something that you've got that you're like, hey, I got something today. I'm going to do something with it.
Instagram stories.
And as you know, consistently.
Yeah.
So just a little update on life for now. Hey, just got this
Ben,
investment.
Eric.
Yeah. Hi, Eric.
Quick question. I think, I don't remember if it was last week you mentioned something about some of these websites where you can purchase leads and so forth.
Yes.
I'm not sure if you were going to have a talk on it in a different session or if you were going to.
It's something I hesitate on. I have two companies I use that I pay. They're one I spend, I don't know, I'm into one company for, I don't know, $1,200 to $1,500 a month. Bye, Jill. Another one I bought is $1,800 for 14 leads I bought, and it's kind of a different system. I'm testing them. As a coach, people listen to me. I'm really cautious to be like, here's what I'm doing without actually really believing in it. By the way, it is working. It's expensive, but you got to turn them. Scott, you know all about that. You know, you're doing the stuff like that, but I can give you the names of the companies, but I just feel like, so one is like, I'm testing them though, right? It makes me really cautious to endorse a company because I don't know. I've got a couple that I use. Now, if it's something that you really want to do, like how many people here got the money to buy on a monthly basis to buy some cold leads that come in that you guys got to deal with cold leads? Like, hey, how you doing? Oh, you want to buy a house? Well, not really. Okay, well, you know, what are you looking for? Well, I don't really want a house. Well, you know what? You can show you one. That's what it's like sometimes. It's hard
I
selling.
actually tried it last year. for about 10, 11 months. I did turn one sale out of it. And
So
to
one
me,
sale,
that
10,
wasn't-
11 months. Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't feel that I quite hacked it,
Yeah.
good enough.
Yeah.
I think the potential is there.
Yeah.
But, I got to find a way to
It's like
make
insane
sure.
focus, man.
Yeah.
So question is, yeah, you can. So there's one company called, I'll throw you the names. Actually, you know what? I'll send an email to you, okay? How many people, send me a note right now, how many people want to know these companies' names? Because it's going to cost them a monthly main, and it's hard selling. That's why I don't
It
push
is.
it. I'll send me an email, whoever wants to know this stuff, and I'll give you guys some of the stuff. I just don't want to put it on recording, and I don't want to endorse it
Yeah.
100%. I'd rather just have a
Fair
quick little email.
Then,
Like
aside
I
from the
it's in business, but the risk is that you just get dominated by this business. That's my risk. And then all of a sudden you're like one sale. Oh, I could get a sale right now by just walking into a mall. Like I'm just saying, like there's so many ways to get sales. One sale and how much time put in. So I'm cautious on the online leads. I'm a big believer in it. But yeah, just have to understand, is that the best use of your time to be doing that when there's other things to do? Because it feels like you're getting leads. I can get 9 in a day. But if you're not following these things, you're not working on these things, it's hard. It's cold calling. It's like cold calling. Scott, you're doing that,
Like
right?
I've actually sent a ton of information, and
You've
I've
done
put
it
a
before.
ton
That's,
of work
yeah.
into it.
Yeah, you can.
But
Yeah.
conversion rate wasn't good enough, so that's why I
Exactly, yeah.
stopped. And I'm wondering if there's a way you can maybe either, in the email that you send me or something like that, of how you would maybe tackle them, or because I still feel it's worth it, but like you said, everyone's a little bit different, and I haven't done it because I'm
text replies. It gets into it's a whole system, right? There's companies in this business that are 100% solely doing that. But I can tell you this one thing: 2 guys joined my real estate team that came from those businesses, and both of them were depressed from it, even though it worked. The mental game in that, you gotta, if you're not a salesman, it's tough. Like Scott, you've done sales. So when someone says bugger off, who cares? Go to the next one. But that's not for everyone, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I would say even just focus on the process more than the actual lead gen system, and maybe try certain lead gen systems that are not going to break your bank, and just go from there and really focus on the systems and really master your skill when you're looking at phone calling. Like, have benchmarks, have targets, have you need to speak to so many people on a daily basis, follow up, understand that when you do, and be consistent with your phone calls. And sometimes when you're on a 2-hour phone call, you're going to take a shit kicking, and that's okay, but you have to be consistent with it. And I think when you're more conscious to the whole process, it gets easier. And some lead generation systems are garbage, but some are good. So
yeah. And that's the thing, right? And it costs money. So hopefully you got some pockets to put some money toward it. Like I'm testing at thousands of dollars a month. It's not like if this is where you're like, I've got $3,000 left, don't be doing this. Start talking to people. It's free. If you can't talk to a stranger and get a deal, don't do lead gen. It's almost the same thing, except one's really expensive. And then like you're saying, Scott, you think that you have to think 10 no's to 2 yeses. Let's go. Oh, you said no, I'm closer to my yes. And then when they're saying no, how can I turn them into a yes when they don't want to talk to me? Like it's almost like if you're masterful at that, you'll win. But it's a whole nother training. Just hold on a second. But anyways, so send me an email if you guys are interested in something like that. I'll send you some connections, but with a big disclaimer. Okay, good. So what's some takeaways, guys? So Instagram stories is something that you might invest into. What other things are you guys taking away?
I think I'm just going to really focus on 15 to 30 minutes a day and focus on what things work for me, and kind of go from there.
Yeah, that's really good.
Just the whole part about the personal versus business. I think for me too, sometimes just like we've talked about, because all the options are so overwhelming, I'm just going to pick one and do that one. I find the Instagram one I kind of like, just because it's not a whole bunch of stuff just coming at you, and the stories I think is a great way. So pick one, go at it, and then go from there.
Yeah, do it for a couple months and just see. Remember, we're in this for 10 years, so take a couple months and try one. See what you learn. But again, like Scott said, it's the 15, 20 minutes a day, that commitment. It's a commitment. But remember, what do you need to get done in your business? Does that really serve? Do you need to implement an 18-month strategy, or do you need to freaking get a sale right now? Do you have your list organized? If you don't have a list organized, stop marketing and get that list organized. If you got people that you need to follow up on, that's 10 times better than any social media. This is called follow up. Go do open houses, do things that get you in front of people you can actually ask for business. You want long-term building brand? Yeah, but make sure that you're doing the other things first. Because remember, the brand comes from blowing the people's minds. Don't ever forget that. That's what happens. My social media is run by other people. People post shit about me. If you want to really master social media, do something so good that they brag about you online. That's the grading system I have for me. Did they say, holy shit, oh my goodness, the guy's amazing. That's what you're looking for. That's real social media, guys. That's real social media, right? Sold pictures are fantastic. Consistent sold pictures are fantastic as well. Those are really good. New listing pictures. Hey, got another one. Like, it doesn't have to be a big thing, like a walkthrough, or like it's just that's where stories and posts come up. That's where the consistency amongst all your personal solds, just listed, there's 100 things to do. Just little updates. Yeah, I'm doing real estate, or a frustration in the market, like a little talk going, you know what sucks? I come here, I got to walk through the whole snow to get this key box that's on the side of this house. Like I don't mind a little bit of that going, hey, little tip for everyone. Let's put the key box on the door because I'm walking through snow today. That's cool. So you don't go directly at the sale, talk around what you're doing. You know what I mean? Oh, guess I'm investing in new shoes today. Little tip for every real estate agent out there. Haha. So what are you saying? That you're paying attention to detail. You have a higher service level. So say everything without saying it.